Good morning, afternoon, or evening, or whenever you're watching this video. Ladies and gentlemen, Brendan Lee here with thebrendanlee.com in support of consciousness and skill worldwide, which is founded by Peter Ralston. Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk to you about how to deal with feeling hopeless when you're trying to become conscious of the truth, but it seems like it's hopeless, it's not going anywhere. No. How to deal with that. That's what I'm going to talk about in this video. All right. How do you deal with that? I don't care. Okay? Deal with it however you want. You can get upset, be happy, go drink a beer, masturbate, whatever the fuck you want to do, go ahead. Now, on a more serious note, likely, I'm assuming that the question is, if I want to be conscious and I'm running into these feelings of hopelessness, like, what do I do? Like, can you say something that would motivate me or to help me stay on track and so you can help me continue? Okay, cool. I get it. And yes, I can also serve that function as well. What do you do? What do you do? Well, what I'm about to say comes from, I've had thousands of hours of experience in contemplation. I've done thousands of hours of contemplation. That is a lot of contemplation, right? Thousands, not like 1,000. And one of the things that becomes clear to me experientially, not conceptually, but experientially over time, is that all experience, all of my, so I'm sitting in contemplation, and then, I start feeling hopeless, right? Maybe hopeless comes up. As a result of the contemplation, I start feeling really fucking hopeless. It's like, my God, there's nowhere to go. There's no hope, right? What do I do? There's actually a time. Okay, here's a story. This will help. This should help. Anyway, I was contemplating. I was deep in, and I started to feel, I looked around the room at everybody that was in there. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. We're all just in here trying to survive life, but none of us are going to survive because we're all trying to get somewhere, but ultimately it goes nowhere because we're all going to die. This is totally hopeless. I started to cry. I was upset. I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking terrible, right? You see? And so I got off my cushion, I go up, I sit down in front of Peter. This is like years and years ago. I'm younger, and I sit in front of him, I'm explaining my situation. I'm like, oh my God, this is just so terrible. I was like almost pretty much in tears, like feeling terrible. You know what he said? He looked at me. I'm like, I just feel like I'm in a room full of crazy people, and this is just nuts. This is going nowhere. He looks down at me and he says, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Oh, fuck, right. Of course. Yeah. That's the state of things. What are we up to as human beings? We're trying to go through life only to die at the end. Okie dokie. We could feel hopeless about that. And you might. Okay, so the first thing, one thing you can do is maybe remember the story, bring a little humor into the situation, okay? Because that helps break it up. Like, right. I'm taking this whole hopeless thing a little too seriously, right? So you could, take it less seriously. Hey, lighten up on that. Who cares, all right? So there's that. Remember the story. Laugh a little. Or, I think I heard a story about this guy, Bubba Freejohn, and he apparently had a room that was full of balloons. And if people started getting all high and mighty or a little too ego, like, I'm so important because I do spiritual work, and or maybe they're down in the dumps or something else. Okay, I'm making up the down in the dumps part. He'd go stick them in the room with the balloons. All right, go in the room. How long are you going to feel hopeless in a room full of balloons? And they make that squeaky noise. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Your state will shift. Okay, so you can bring some humor. Second thing, something else you can do is, you'll learn this. If you contemplate enough, you'll start to get this likely experientially, not just thinking about it, is feeling hopeless eventually will get replaced by some other state of like, oh, it's so good. I'm so close. I'm almost there. I am right on the top of being conscious. Like, oh, it's just right there. And sudden euphoria. And then that'll get replaced by like some emotion, perhaps. I'm sad and things feel weird right now. I don't know what to do. And that might get replaced by hallucinating and might get replaced by some energy states and shit running up your spine or whatever. You see? And then an understanding that can occur over many, thousands of hours of contemplation is that it is just another state. Hopeless is pretty much the same as ecstasy, is pretty much the same as weird, is pretty much the same as energy states, is all just more experience. Because I hear that in some spiritual stuff or some personal growth or whatever domain you want to call it, is like, oh, because I felt a rush of kundalini, that means I'm awakening a fifth chakra. Where does that happen? In your experience? Yeah, but it's God. Where is that happening? In your experience? Yeah, but I feel so hopeless. I don't know where it's going to go. Where is that happening? In your experience? It's more experience. It's just more experience. I've run through enough experience to get that it's just more of the same stuff. Experience what you experience. Consciousness really has nothing to do with what you experience. Okay? So, in terms of being hopeless, what do? Hey, whatever you like. Be happy. That's what you do. You want to, if you're hopeless, be happy about it. There you go. I've told you how to live. No. You can do whatever you like. So, now, okay, right. All right, again, sorry, thank you. Back to the question a little bit more for you, is I'm hopeless. It's hopeless. What do I do? Now, how do you continue? How do you continue? Do you give up? Do you give up? If you want to be conscious, no. You do not give up. Like I tell people sometimes, it's like, look, you're in the house. It is burning down. You let it burn. Yeah? What else you got? You got hopeless? Good. What else you got? You got more? Come on. Is that all you got? Do you give up? No. You drive into it more. You stay. I've been telling my friends recently, you stay the course. You continue. Or like Elon Musk, another good one from Elon Musk. Somebody's asking him about being an entrepreneur. And he's like, it's not fun. It's kind of like chewing glass and staring into the abyss. So chew glass. If glass is what's on the menu, eat the glass. If that glass turns into roses, good. Now you got roses. Okay, cool. You continue anyway. Good experience, bad experience. Keep going. Doesn't matter. Maybe you have a bad experience and it matters. Even in the midst of a terrible experience that really matters, you keep going. Even if your experience is the best one you've ever had, you're feeling love for everything and everybody. You're feeling one with God and you're in bliss. What do? Keep going. Enjoy. Enjoy either way. See? So then if it feels hopeless, you may keep this counsel in mind, but the main thing is get conscious, because that's what you're working on. And your states will come and go. All right? So now consider, it is one thing to hear about this, right? And it is another thing to experience it for yourself. So as always, I want to invite you to consider, take on the consideration, See if you can experience what's true in the matter for yourself. I'm asserting that what I've said is true. You must discover if that's the case. Okay? Kind of like when I teach people boxing, and I try to tell them like how to dodge, and that dodging is the best form of defense in boxing, in striking, right? Is get out of the way. But people constantly will try to rely on blocking. But I'm telling them from a place of experience, and when they train it from a place of like just hearing about it until eventually they can have the experience for themselves. Then they go, oh, yeah, this is way better. You see, I'm trying to explain the difference between having a concept of what I'm saying and then experiencing it for yourself. You see, so if you're at a conceptual place, just acknowledge that. It's fine, nothing wrong with that. And then see if you can move toward an experience of what I'm talking about, because I think that will serve you better and more powerfully in your contemplations as you continue. Okay? So there you go. It's all about the hopelessness today. Thank you very much. If you want to get slightly serious, check the links in the description. I have a free video course. This is in the domain of being effective in life, not necessarily becoming more conscious, but being more effective. If you want to get more serious, there's other links in the description, but only check them if you're serious or if you want to take the next step. Otherwise, much love, enjoy. Till next time, this is Brendan Lee with theBrendanLee.com. Visit my website, subscribe to the channel, blah, 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 in support of consciousness and skill worldwide, founded by Peter Ralston. I'll catch you later. Ciao.